Bill Belichick team, you have to hit a level of mastery.
Yeah.
A mastery. You got to know every possibility because it's about to unveil. And that's exactly what Belichick did, but Dak is at that level of mastery. We've watched for years, and we watched the great battles between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Neither one of them can run faster than a snail. But we watch from them a level of mastery on the game, on the football field, and control teams. Dak has that, and he has the ability to run. Now, he's not a running quarterback. He has the ability to run. Now, we have turned runners into quarterbacks. But when you get a rare gift of a true quarterback that can run, like Dak can, he's not Lamar, not Kyler Murray, but he can get you what he needs to get you. Absolutely. With that team he has, and him seeing every blade of grass and have the talent to hit every blade of grass, Dak is the scariest quarterback right now in the National Football League, man. So if you just did this to the master, you know what all the other defensive coordinators, because when we say scary, we talking about what defensive coordinators ain't getting no sleep.
Yep.
Everyone that sees Dak Prescott on the schedule just said, we got to get us some no-dos. We are not going to get any sleep when we get ready to play him. He's the scariest quarterback with the talent he has around him in the National Football League right now. Yeah, I know you can't fight that.
I'm just going to try to keep my cool.
You can't fight that, buddy.
That drivel that you just threw out there. Let me ask you this question. So Dak Prescott is scarier than Tom Brady? Dak Prescott is scarier than Aaron Rodgers? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I am absolutely telling you that.
Okay, fine.
I'm absolutely telling you that. You want me to tell you why they are?
No. You already told me why. We heard enough from you. We've heard enough from you. He's scarier than Kyler Murray, huh? Kyler Murray, last time I checked, has completed 73% of his passes just like Dak Prescott.
Just like that.
He's got 14 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Dak has 16 and 4. Dak is thrown for 1,800-plus yards. Kyler's thrown for 1,700-plus yards. Dak's got an L. Kyler doesn't.
Right.
And then I think about this. This dude, we all know what a stud DeAndre Hopkins could be. He ain't even get started yet, if you really think about it. What he's capable of. He ain't even get started yet. They got this cat Chase Edmonds coming out of the backfield. He's capable of running the football. Are they Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard? No, but him with James Conner have proven to be more than serviceable. They've got a top-notch running attack, one of the top running attacks in the National Football League. The resurgence, the resurrection of A.J. Green. Remember that dude?
Yeah.
Years ago when he was in Cincinnati and widely considered a top 5 receiver. Right. But he was in football purgatory, which is no more because Cincinnati is on the come up and they deserve a lot of credit. But A.J. Green was there when they were purgatory. And guess what? They're not anymore, but neither is he. This brother is in Arizona doing his thing. And when I consider what the Arizona Cardinals look like, and I consider the weapons that Kyler Murray has available to him. I mean, I paid attention to Dak Prescott. If you didn't have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup's in the mix again. I mean, if you think about guys like that, along with Schultz, along with Wilson, a multitude of weapons, there's nothing to sneeze at, no doubt about it. Last time I checked, Arizona isn't either. And when I think about Dak, like you said, Dak is not a running quarterback. He's a quarterback who can run. Well, we don't know what to classify Kyler Murray is because this miniature dude that Keyshawn Johnson once sat on our set in New York and said, well, I prefer to see quarterbacks where I could see the ball coming out of their hand.
What did he
because
say?
they're not, he said, because they're not short and I'm not looking for where they're throwing the football from because I could see the ball coming out of their hands when I'm running
second
around.
that emotion, Keyshawn.
Let me finish. You're a Super Bowl champion and a Hall of Famer. He's a Super Bowl champion. Y'all played, I did it. I understand my place. But I got 2 eyes. And what I'm saying to you is this. I'm watching. A matter of fact, I took the liberty, Mollywood, because I wanted to see what drivel would come out of this man's mouth. So I did what I usually do every Sunday morning. I made sure I clicked that channel over to the NFL Network. I wanted to see because we know Rich Eisen is my man, former ESPN dude. Love him dearly. Can't wait to bring him on the show one of these Mondays as well. That's my brother right there, Rich Eisen, and his wonderful wife, Susie, who I've been friends with for decades. For decades. I've known her for decades. Hey, love you, Susie. Here's the deal. You got Rich Eisen there and my man, Kurt Warner. What was he saying? Super Bowl champion Kurt Warner. Hall of Famer Kurt Warner, from the quarterback position Kurt Warner. What was he saying? This guy, Kyler Murray,
Kyler's bad boy.
can throw the football.
Man.
So what I'm saying to you is this.
Man.
We know Dak can't run like him, but we don't know whether or not Kyler Murray can't throw like Dak, because we've seen no evidence that he can't. And he's undefeated with his own slew of weapons. So when we talk about the scariest quarterback in the National Football League, how come I can't say Kyler Murray?
Well, because when we say scary, we're talking about the fear you place in the defense coordinator's heart. Now,
and Kyler Murray doesn't do that?
Yes, he does.
All right, then. All right, then. You know I got you. That's why you're smiling.
Let me tell you what
That's why you're smiling.
Let me tell you what the DC goes to sleep on.
Go ahead.
The DC goes to sleep on his plan of saying, okay, like Keyshawn said, he's not the tallest guy in the world. And what I need to do is just keep him in a pocket and try to slow him down. Let me not allow him to use those dangerous.
Keep him in the pocket.
And I keep him in the pocket, get as much push, and then get my hands up because of his size.
And how has that worked? And how has that worked out for them?
Nobody's really been able to keep him in the pocket. Not yet. But he's like you talked about the level of competition. Now, the level of competition will be coming
the last
for
3
them.
weeks. Hold on.
Because the Cowboys got Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence that they can shoot up the field to keep you in that pocket.
Hold on. Michael Irvin just brought up competition. The last 4 weeks, the Cowboys have won against the Eagles, the Giants, the Carolina Panthers without Christian McCaffrey. And obviously, yesterday against the New England Patriots. Who did Arizona go against? They blew out the Rams, okay? They beat San Francisco, and then they just blew out Cleveland. What are you talking about?
Right.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about matchups. And I'm talking about matchups. So since we're talking about it, and since we're talking scariest quarterback, we're talking scariest quarterback, but those quarterbacks come with the teams that they are on.
Okay.
They come with the team that they're on.
Right.
So you so eloquently laid out all the players that Arizona has. You know who Dak has. We ain't even got to talk about them. Just check the top of all the stat sheets all over the NFL.
I know y'all got a cupcake schedule. I know y'all got a cupcake schedule. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.